Could Haaland be out up until January? If so, that means we've got a lot more money to deal with in our FPL teams. Let's see how I'm personally dealing with this in my latest team selection video. Right, let's waste no time and get started with the goalkeeper and defence. There has been a slight change within my goalkeeper as of late, simply because Dubravka does not have good fixtures and Newcastle are just simply not in form. They are doing atrocious in the Premier League. And Areola with West Ham, I really don't mind him as a pick. Everyone seems to have him because he is that cheap option. However, he's got okay fixtures over the next 6 games. The hardest fixtures he really comes into is United away and Arsenal at home. The rest of them are pretty good fixtures. You've got Brighton, Sheffield United, Bournemouth, and in 25 you've got Forest. Overall, this is a cheap keeper. Clean sheets are just nowhere to be found in FPL at the moment, and if they are just so random. At the end of the day, a cheap keeper, it's just going to do the job. And I'm not going to be chasing a keeper that's going to get clean sheets all the time, because it's just not going to happen these days. It's just the reality of the league at the moment. You've got longer games, you've got crazy VAR decisions. It's just the way the league's going, and it's the way FPL's going at the moment. But let's move on. Alex Moreno. Now, why I picked him a few weeks ago, I think 2 weeks ago I brought him in, is because he was a fantastic pick in my eyes. The only issue was minutes, and that has came back to bite me. His minutes aren't great. However, Luca Digne has picked up an injury, and I'm expecting his minutes to shoot through the roof. We know the quality Alex Moreno has, and I believe he could be one of the better picks in the next coming weeks for defenders. Now, why I say this is because he's got Burnley, Everton, Newcastle, Sheffield, United, Fulham. His fixtures are just great all the way up until game week 30, to be honest. He is kind of a set and forget player. Of course, Digne could come back very quick. I don't think it's that much of a serious injury. However, Alex Moreno really excites me as an FPL option. Hopefully he can steal all of Digne's minutes, because Digne's been playing very good at the moment. I don't really want Alex Moreno will play this game and do poorly and lose his place, because it's just another transfer I'm going to have to do, and I really can't be wasting transfers at the moment. Colwill, another player, minutes was an issue when I brought him in. However, all of the other defenders just weren't options at the time. Gusto was injured at the time I brought in Colwill. Colwill's minutes are just not great. Came off before the 60th minute in last night's match. It's difficult to say what I want to do with these two players. Moreno is a keep, of course. Colwill, it's a little bit worrying. They've got, good fixtures coming up. I'm just not too sure whether to keep him, because the minutes risk is just so high at the moment. I don't know whether he's going to get the 60 minutes to hopefully keep some of these clean sheets with the good fixtures they've got coming up. But with Chelsea leaking goals, is that really a problem? Who knows? Pedro Porro, Gabriel, set and forget in my opinion. Yes, Spurs are going to lose Son in about, let's see, 2 game weeks. I think Son will leave for the Asia Cup. I think they're doing alright. The only bad news I've received recently is Romero is injured, and now that is a big blow for Spurs, so it's difficult to say whether they're going to get a clean sheet or this, that and the other. But the attack and returns of Paul Rowe, they just speak for themselves. He's so attacking. He's up there with Trent, in my opinion, for attacking output in the Premier League, and the data suggests that as well. So fantastic pick. If you don't have him already, maybe could potentially bring him in, but I wouldn't be as urgent as I was in previous weeks to bring him in. Gabriel, simple as it is, Arsenal are the best defence in the league. They have good fixtures. That's all you need to know. That is all you need to know about this Arsenal defender. You can have any of them as long as they've got good minutes. Saliba, Gabriel are my favourite picks. Possibly is Zinchenko if you want to go a bit different, but minutes are a little bit tricky with Zinchenko, although recently has been playing quite a lot of minutes. But overall, goalkeeper and defence, relatively happy. Just a few minutes risks in the team at the moment. Moving on to the midfield, this won't be as long simply because I only have 3 of them. Palmer, Son, Salah. Son and Salah, fantastic players. Salah has Newcastle at home. It's honestly on my mind to captain Salah. Now, that does sound crazy. Coming against Newcastle, they're obviously a decent side. They've got a bit of bad blood off last season with that tricky VAR decision that didn't go Newcastle's way. They could be a bit more amped up for that, but Liverpool are on form. I think they're currently top of the league still. Yeah, I think it could be a great captaincy pick, and with Haaland being out up until January, possibly, the captaincy options now could make or break your rank, in my opinion. I think not everyone's captaining the same player, so you've got really a chance to be a bit different, to do your research, to really get a captaincy pick that works for you, and I think Salah could be that player this week. Yes, you've got Son against Bournemouth, however, Romero's out, you've got other injuries in the side that make Spurs a little bit weaker. They seem to be getting results but slowly scraping at them. It's hard to tell whether Son's going to perform on the day as well. Some days he gets dragged out wide and he kind of stays there and supports. Other games he's really up for it, he's attacking. Now with Richarlison playing in that central role, perhaps his output is a little bit less. He's still yet to play. I believe he plays today, later on, if not tomorrow. I'm not too sure on that, but hopefully he gets me some returns this week because my team this week is not doing so well. Still got 3 to play, but yeah. Son, not sure about captaincy, but the fixture is pretty decent, even though Bournemouth are on fire at the moment. Palmer, back from suspension, Luton away. Now, if you said to me at the start of the season, you've got a player who's on penalties, doing quite well, on great form really, and he's playing Luton away, I would say, yeah, fantastic, he's going to get loads of points. However, Luton have kind of proved me wrong in a big way. I think Luton are one of the teams that have came up from the Championship and could possibly stay in the Premier League. I think their sheer determination, the way they play, the home crowd they have really drives them on, and Chelsea I think will really struggle at Luton's ground. I think it's a case of we hope and pray that Palmer gets a return because I think it's going to be a really tricky fixture for Chelsea. But the reason Palmer's starting ahead of Gordon's on the bench, is because we just don't know what Newcastle are doing at the moment, man. It's so tricky with the form Newcastle are in, the fixtures they got. I really don't want to start any of their players. I think they're absolute duds at the moment. If you've got a few Newcastle players around, possibly you could hold off and hold on till game week 23 when they've got good fixtures. That could possibly be my move, but I'm not too sure at the moment. It could be the case Adingra moves on to a player like Bowen, and perhaps a Colwill drops to the bench simply because I'm scared of minutes and I think Luton will score. Could be the move. I think it's my most likely move at the moment because I really like Jared Bowen because I've had him before and he did really well for me. It was just a case I had to get rid of him because he was injured. Well, he wasn't injured in the end, but that was just the way FPL went for me. But yeah, midfield, pretty happy with it. It's just a case I'm a bit scared of Luton away for Palmer. Not sure he's going to get the returns I'm looking for. Let's chat about my forwards. Now, NKUNKU has came in and Haaland has left the side last week. Really excited to own NKUNKU. The only downside of NKUNKU, in my opinion, is that he has Jackson sat in front of him. Jackson is just so poor. He's not a great striker at the moment. It is his first Premier League season. He's not finding his feet as well as we all thought he would. I'm just not sure. But I know from watching NKUNKU and watching him last night especially, he has real quality. And I think in that final third, that is what Chelsea needs. And his willingness to get on the ball and get a strike away, even with his head or anything, you can really see that. And I think it's an exciting time to own NKUNKU. It's just whether Chelsea can keep ticking away. Lavia coming on last night as a substitution. He changed the game massively for Chelsea. And if he can start games and remain fit for Chelsea, I think they can really turn into an okay footballing side. I'm not sure they're going to, challenge for top 4. It's just not the right time for Chelsea. They're rebuilding, but the quality is there on the side, and I honestly think they could, do well in the next few weeks. But let's just see how that goes. Bournemouth, a team that's doing really, really well at the moment. They're going into a kind of harder fixture run at the moment. You're looking at Spurs, Liverpool, West Ham, then you're back to Forest and Fulham. It could be the case within the next 3 to 4 weeks that Haaland is back and fit, and it's the case Solanke gets removed and Haaland goes back in. But at this rate, Solanke is simply too good to drop. It's just, I don't know what's going on at Bournemouth, but they're cooking up a storm, and it's really enjoyable to see. Watkins, on the other hand, a bit disappointing as an asset. Returned once in the last 5 games. It's not ideal for the price he is. Of course, at the moment, price isn't really necessarily a problem because a lot of us have removed Haaland. So, yeah, he's got a great fixture with Burnley at home. A possible captaincy pick, but with not returning in the last 5, or returning once, in the last 5. Yeah, I'm not sure I want to take that chance, but yeah, that is the forwards. Let's quickly recap though about my transfer plans. Now, I've got 1 transfer available, a lot of money in the bank, of course, because Haaland is not in the squad. Now, you could maybe go Colwill to Trent. It's an okay fixture for Trent. Newcastle at home. Newcastle really not in form at the moment. They've got some kind of tricky fixtures coming up, but you're really picking Trent for his attacking returns. At the end of the day, Liverpool are top of the league. They are the best team in the Premier League right now. Why not bring in Trent for this week and onwards? The next transfer that kind of tempts me a little bit more is getting Adingra out and Jared Bowen in. Now, I spoke a little bit about this in my midfield section, but it would be the case that Colwill drops to the bench. That Luton away fixture, I just feel as though Colwill is going to concede. Well, Chelsea will concede, and Colwill will obviously struggle with minutes in that game, I believe. Just judging off the information we have of the last few weeks. But yeah, I'm more turned towards the Jared Bowen transfer at the moment. Over the next few weeks, he's got Brighton this week, Sheffield United, then Bournemouth. Really good fixtures, decent player, getting returns all over the shop this season. I think that could be a really strong move. My only advice to you guys over the next few weeks is just to plan ahead with your transfers. It's always my advice for you guys, but especially in the coming weeks. You've got some players are off to AFCON and the Asia Cup. Likes of my team, I've got Son, Salah, and where is he? Adingra, all going away. Sadly, obviously, Adingra being injured, he will not be going away. But yeah, just keep an eye on the information available to you guys. Keep watching my videos because I will be talking about this information in the next coming weeks. And yeah, have fun with your FPL teams as well, because at the moment it is a bit tricky with injuries, suspensions. A lot of players, having multiple people out and find it really difficult to navigate without taking a hit. Just try your best to enjoy FPL at the moment, because it is getting a bit difficult with all these injuries and suspensions. If you're watching to this point now, I just want to give you a massive thank you. This channel has slowly grown over the last month to about 50 odd subscribers. I know it's a low number, but thank you everyone who has subscribed. However, if you're not subscribed, please consider it. I'm pumping out these videos and hopefully making your FPL journeys that little bit easier to navigate. But that is everything for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.